Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Introvert Dating Success Show, courtesy of introvertdatingsuccess.com. This is the show, and that is the website where you can go to learn how to attract women as your authentic, introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. And on today's show, I have a short message I want to go over with you guys, but it's a guy that went on a couple of dates with a girl, and he found out on social media that she wasn't all that impressed, and now he's wondering what he should do. And so what I want to talk about on today's show is specifically what he did right, what he did wrong, and what his moves should be going forth. So we'll get into that in a second. First off, for more of these shows, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. You can also go to iTunes, you can go to YouTube. If you want to get these shows a week before they drop anywhere else, then you can support me on Patreon by going to patreon.com/introvertdatingsuccess and becoming a patron. And you can also support the show by going to the tip jar tab at the website. We've got a few links here that you can use. Now, as I said on the previous show, I had a show before this called the Stop Losing Women Podcast, where I did over 435 shows that were all about the ins and outs of dating, specifically attracting, dating, greeting, meeting up with, hooking up with, and ultimately getting into a relationship with the girl of your dreams. I had interviewed experts on there. I had a bunch of different shows about a wide variety of topics, ranging from dating to how to talk to women to a bunch of times where I answered guys' questions. And a lot of guys found that to be a very impactful show. I had one guy that just sent me a bunch of money just saying, I changed his life and thanks, here's some money. And then I had another guy that literally he said that he spent thousands on therapist, and that my show actually helped him figure out his life. So it's a very impactful show, but it's not currently up anywhere because I started doing this show. So for those of you that were interested in that show, I will be putting it up later next month. It'll be on a subscription service, so you can either pay a monthly fee to get access to all the shows, or you can pay a one-time fee to have lifetime access. But it is the complete archive of 430 shows. It's over 144 hours of audio. It's like 6 days total back-to-back of audio, and it's just a lot of great tips and stuff. So that'll be coming out. I've decided it's going to be coming out next month on June 19th. So there'll be a pre-order thing at some point coming up very, very soon, but that's going to be happening. So I will keep you guys posted on the progress of that. But Friday, June 19th is when you will have access to those shows, okay? So be sure to check that out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into today's show. And it goes a little something like this. The guy says, I'm 25 and she's 23. We went on 2 dates. The first date went well. Next day, we slept at a hotel and it wasn't so well as the night before. I'm going to pause. This is a typical thing that happens. And I've made this same mistake too, so don't think it's just you, guy, because I've been the guy that's like, oh, we had such a great time this first night. You know what? We'll be fine to see each other the next day. And unfortunately, typically the momentum from day one is not there on day 2 when you're doing it back to back. Now you might be asking yourself, well, why is that? Why is it, if she was so hype on seeing me that first night, why wouldn't she have those same high feelings the second night? And as we get into this guy's short message, you'll see what happened. But what basically it boils down to is this, is that as guys, when we take a woman out on a date and we have a good time, we're already in our head thinking future, like, oh, this girl's so great. She's amazing. I can already see how she'd fit here with my friends, and I can't wait for her to have my last name. God, if we had some kids together, that'd be great. Oh my God, where would we live? We're already on the path of we basically already chosen this woman, okay? But women need downtime away from you to build up their interest, because for them, it's a little bit more than just, oh, I like him, he's hot, therefore it is what it is. It's like, and even women that have said things like, oh, from the first day I met him, I knew he was going to be the one. That don't mean that she saw him the next day. It meant that she thought, oh, this guy's great, he could be whatever. But then she had a few days to kind of compress and think about him and miss him and talk about him to her girlfriends and like have anticipation built up for the next time he would call. If he would call, there's a little bit of mystery there because she's not sure if he was feeling the same thing that she was feeling. And it's just, oh, and all these things that guys don't find necessary at all are things that women actually need in order to build up a stronger attraction. So if you asked her out on a date and then you're trying to get another date the next day, you've given her no time to feel any of that stuff to build up a stronger connection to you. And so that's part of the reason why she most likely would end up not having the same feelings on that second date because it was too soon. So what I typically tell guys is this, is that you take a girl out on a date, have a good time, and you wait a minimum of 4 days before you text her, call her, hit her up for the next date. Give her at least 4 days to do the things I just said she's going to be doing. And then when you ask her out for that second date, she'll be so happy that you contacted her that she'll anticipate even more and build up her interest for you even more. But he didn't do that. So anyway, continuing, she says, first day went well. So next day we slept at a hotel and it wasn't so well as the night before. I made no moves both dates because I didn't want to be seen as an F-boy. You know what that is. Bad boy, we'll say. And wanted to take it slow because I saw her as girlfriend material. Aw, isn't that nice? For those of you that are watching the video versus listening to the podcast, you'll be able to see that my face has a sarcastic expression on it. And the reason that is because there's a lot of sappy stuff here. But one, he made no moves on both nights. And a lot of guys do this, especially introverted guys, because we don't like to waste our time. We feel as though the best usage of our time is, okay, we're going to go show her a good time, but I don't want her to be scared off and go away because then that wastes my time. So I'm going to not do anything and wait for her to do everything. And I'm not going to touch her because I want her to feel like I'm a good guy and that'll be my way in. And let me tell you something, guys. This is an important lesson because I feel as though, he says the part where he says, I saw her as girlfriend material. There are a lot of women out there that reject guys constantly because of this same thought pattern. They see her as this great girl and she's so nice and she's so this and she wouldn't dare want me to make a move on her because she's so innocent and pure and kind. And meanwhile, these are the same girls that I've taken out and hooked up with on the first and second night who were way freakier than even I was, where I was like, whoa, I got to slow this down because they're freaking me out. Like, it's amazing. And so the girls that you were seeing as these pure girls that are like, oh, they're more relationship minded. I should think about the relationship. These girls are ready to get banged out and have probably done a slew of things that they'll never tell you about, whether it's, physically in the bedroom or whether it's just in a personal life, girls that have stolen stuff and have beaten guys up and have just done amazing things and some really not so amazing things. But the point is, the facade of a woman is to look as if she's innocent and as if she's all about relationships and as if she's just this, innocent person that is taken aback by, off-color jokes and are horrified when guys try to touch them in certain ways and whatever. And that is the patriarchy's fault. That's our fault because, men have been suppressing women, and not all men. I don't make this thing where I'm bashing men because I'm not, but just in the hierarchy of society, women who show those things, who are a bit more physical and are a bit more outspoken, tend to get written up a lot about and are made fun of and are told to, be more pure and how dare they, and they're called whores and all these other bad names. And so, yeah, when you first meet her, part of her is trying to fill out, okay, this guy probably has a certain view of me. I need to be a certain way to not chase him away. Now, in another part of the brain, they're saying, but if he were to bring it out of me and I just happen to, he happened to be the guy that brought it out of me, then it's his fault, not mine. So there are a lot of women out there who will actually want the guy to make the moves that allow her to do the things that she wants to do in the first place because it's more acceptable if he introduces it. So this is why, more often than not, women want the guy to be the one to initiate the first kiss or to make the moves that lead them to the bedroom, because if she does it, she's gonna get called a bunch of kind of names, but if he does it, it's just guy behavior. And I say this because they went to a hotel the next night. So let me get this straight. He's saying he brought up the idea of going to a hotel and she said yes. So when she said yes, what she was saying is, oh, this guy's taking the lead on this thing. He's going to get the hotel room. If all I got to do is say yes to go, and then things will get popping. And then we'll get to the hotel room, and he'll probably be the one to start kissing me and start feeling on me, and I'll just be like, oh my God, it was just a moment, oh my God, and then I'll go ahead and go along with it. Just by the fact that she agreed to go to the hotel. She agreed to go to the hotel with the guy she just met, and he didn't try anything. Why else would she be there? She's not going to the hotel just to talk. We all universally know what the hotel is for. So you set up the hotel, she said yes. That was the go-ahead. So this whole take things slow part, that's the part where we have had bad training. where we have been told, well, because women are innocent and women, they don't want to hook up with anybody on the first date, which again is also a lie. But we're trained to believe that women are a certain way and they appear a certain way, and they want to be a certain way, and all women want these things in dating. And the reality is most women just want a guy that's going to be able to lead them to the stuff they want to do in the first place. So this guy messed up majorly because he got a hotel to make a move, and she probably wanted to do some stuff, and they didn't do some stuff. So once you get past that, where it's like there's this buildup of tension and there's a drive there, and then at the moment of where things are supposed to go, you don't do anything, that literally deflates all the air out of a girl. I remember one time when I was in college, I met this girl the week of Thanksgiving, and I was making her laugh, and she was having a good time with me, whatever. And she lived in my city, but my school was in a different city. But then I went home for a week I was going home to go see a movie premiere, and I hit her up and said, hey, do you want to come to this movie premiere? It's a free ticket. And she was like, jumped on it, like, absolutely, let's go, it's no problem. And so we went to the movie. Whole time, I'm sitting there, minding my business. She's touching up on me. She's, laughing and putting her hand on my leg, and she's like constantly leaning over my way. And this is back when I didn't have any kind of game. So I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, oh, this just feels nice, whatever. So then I'm driving her back to her dorm room because she was in college also. So I was driving her to her dorm so I could drop her off and then go back to my mom's house to then go back to my school the next day. So I dropped her off at her dorm thinking like, okay, I'm just going to drop her off and that's a wrap. And she says, hey, so do you want to come up and see my room? Now, the version of me today would have heard that and be like, she's inviting me to her room. What do you do in a room? You hook up. Yes, let's go up. What did I do? I said, I'd love to see her room. Legitimately thinking, I've never been in a girl's dorm room before. I would like to see this. We go up there to her, go inside, we go to the common area, say hi to one of her roommates, and then she takes me into her room. And I'm sitting there in her room. It's this huge bed, a dresser, a little desk for a computer on it, but just most of the room is taken up by this huge bed. And I'm sitting there, I literally sit on the bed, and I'm sitting there like, well, what are we supposed to do here? There's this big ass bed here. Like, what's going on? So I sit there for like 2 minutes and think, this is nice. Okay, I gotta go. And then I left. And she was like, oh, okay. And took me back downstairs and we drove off. And well, I drove off. She stayed there, obviously. And about halfway home, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, God. Oh, how did I not see that? And so what happened was the next time I tried to hit her up for a date, she was just not interested because, again, deflated tires. Like the setup was there, we were all set to go, and nothing happened. Now, I will preface this by saying, does this mean that if you're not in the mood to hook up with a girl at any given time, that you should still do it regardless? And I'm saying no, that's not the case. But if you're taking a girl out on a date, chances are you probably won't hook up with her. So when that opportunity arises and you don't lead the interaction for that to happen, yeah, expect this to happen. Anyway, continuing on, he says, I haven't texted her yet since the second date. Then she posted on her Twitter saying I was too nice and didn't want me anymore. So I feel bad for the guy. I don't know why she felt the need to post that. Hopefully she didn't use his name. She just kind of said like, oh, I went on a date with this guy. Nothing happened. I'm kind of disappointed. It's still not the best thing because I don't believe in people calling their significant others out on social media, and they're not even significant others yet. They're just dating, but already this is not a good sign because this is the kind of woman that'll be on Facebook and hint her anger at him if they go through an argument. Those are the girls that are like, well, he should have taken me out, or he knows what he did. Like, I don't like that either. But yeah, man, you see, she's not happy because she clearly wanted something to happen. And the part where she's saying he was too nice, this is the problem a lot of nice guys have, is that they feel like in order to be nice, it means that they can't push their agenda forward to do some physical stuff. But there are plenty of nice guys that have kids, which means at some point they knew how to hook up with a girl. So you need to get out of the head this idea that only F-boys are the ones that are trying to bang girls. And I think a lot of people have in their head, a lot of guys have in their head, like, if I try to do that, then it's going to make her feel like I'm using her, because that's what F-boys do, is they hook up with girls and then they leave them or whatever. But understand, women have a say in this also. It ain't like she's standing there like, hey, F-boy, and he's like, I'm going to do you now. And she's like, oh, no, stop. She has to say yes to that in order for it to happen. So just like she says yes to the F-boys, wait for it. If you as the nice guy come to her and start doing some stuff, she can decide to say, let's continue on, or she can say stop. Just the same options that she has with the F-boys. But the F-boys are at least trying. What's making you overly nice is you're not trying because you're afraid of rejection. And you're afraid you're going to get that no, and that if she says no, it's going to ruin the whole vibe, and now that means that you guys can't see each other anymore. And that's not true at all. Some girls take longer than others to want to hook up, but girls that are going to the hotel with you probably want to hook up. So if you try to move there, you're probably going to be successful. I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed that this guy got a hotel and didn't do anything. But again, I've been there, guy. I understand what you're going through. He says, is it over? Should I just not text her anymore and give up? I regret not making a move. Please help. I feel I have a chance if I get my text game right. I'm obviously not going to mention the tweet because she'll think I'm a stalker. So one, get out of your head this whole thing that you got to get your texting game on point, okay? The phone, consider the phone a deadly dating weapon. If you know how to use it the right way, you can get your shot. But if you don't, you're going to mess it up. So the phone should be used specifically for getting dates and nothing else. If they hit you up, want to do some flirty texting or whatever, you entertain it for a couple messages and say, hey, babe, this is great. You know what? We should meet up. Let's figure out the next time we can have a date. But always be setting up a date, okay? But in answer to this guy's question, it's not that it's over. She doesn't know you saw it. So I typically err on the side of this. Until a woman either says outright no to your dating request, rejects you, or flakes on you, then you're good. Now, does that mean that you should take a shot? I don't know. I mean, the girl seems like she's kind of pissed off in that she said she didn't want you anymore. But if she hasn't said it to your face yet, I'm always on the air side of you try some stuff out. What's the worst that can happen? So you text her up or you call up and say, hey, so this thing's happening this weekend and I really like to take you. You know, let me know if you're free this day or that day, whatever. If she says yes, that means there's a small part of her that's either like, well, I'll give him one more shot, or she's just at this point just using you. And you'll know that by honestly how much money you decide to spend on the date. If you spend a little bit and she gets mad, she's just using you for the money. But if she legit goes out with you and is gonna, be there, whatever, then this is the point in time where you try some stuff. And it ain't gotta be like you gotta, be walking down the street and all of a sudden you just lean over and try to start kissing her and stuff. But you suggest things that could be indicative of you getting intimate. For example, you'd say something like after, you guys get a meal or whatever, you say, hey, so I want to know, maybe you want to come to my place and watch a movie. It's the simplest thing in the world. Just say, hey, this new movie came out on Netflix and I want to check, and I was going to go home and check it out. You want to come by and check it out with me? I got a bottle of wine. Let's go watch a movie. If she says yes to that invite, women already know in their head, if they hear drink and movie or Netflix and chill or whatever, that means you want to hook up. If she says yes to that, that means she wants to hook up. If she says, no, I'm gonna go home, I'm kind of tired, she's no longer interested. But it didn't have to be directly said. You just present an activity that would indicate bedroom stuff happening down the line, and then she either says yay or nay. It really is that simple. So hopefully this helps you out, guy. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm sorry you had to hear those words, and just be more confident. Be more confident that when you're setting up certain moves that you're going to get that yes. And if you don't treat it like a big deal. Be indifferent. The key word I say on this show time and time again is being indifferent to the outcome. So this guy was very, very, very invested in the outcome of this girl, and that's what really screwed him up. So make sure that you are more confident when you're making these moves, and you'll get the desired effect. All right? That's all I got. So if you like this message, then you want to support my work, and go to the website and click on the tip jar tab, or also become a supporter on Patreon, patreon.com/introvertdatingsuccess. Become a patron, you get access to these shows a week before anybody else. If you want any one-on-one coaching, go to the website, click on the coaching tab. If you want a question answered on one of these shows, you can go click on the contact tab, and you can write me and I will answer your question. In the meantime, go to the website to check out previews of the eBooks, plus check out the free video training where you will learn the kinds of messages to send to women on dating sites that will get them attracted and interested in responding back to you. And like I said, June 19th, Friday, next month, I'll be releasing a subscription-based version of the Stop Losing Women podcast. You'll have access to all 430-something shows to really, really put a higher edge in your dating life. Again, it's 144 hours. It's 5 years worth of content. So you're going to learn something if you decide to subscribe to the access to these podcasts. So be sure to check that out, and I'll talk more about that at a later show. But anyway, I'm HarryWilmington. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.